What if I told you a poor, uneducated laborer from a forgotten village picked up a hammer and defeated a mountain? Not with money, not with power, not with a team, alone for 22 years, while the world laughed at him. This is not a fantasy. This is not a legend. This is the real story of Dashrath Manjhi, the man who proved that determination is stronger than stone, and love is stronger than destiny. If you have ever felt powerless, if life has ever put a mountain in front of you, then this story might change the way you see your limits forever. Because sometimes, the biggest mountains are not in nature. They are in your mind. In a small forgotten village near Gaya, where dust floated through the air like silent witnesses to hardship, a man once stood shattered. His name was Dashrath Manjhi. He was not powerful, not wealthy, not educated. He was a daily wage laborer whose hands were rough from breaking stones for survival. But one day, life broke something inside him that was harder than any rock he had ever touched. His wife, Falguni Devi, slipped and fell while crossing a mountain ridge. The nearest hospital was on the other side, but the mountain stood between them like a cruel gatekeeper. By the time help could reach, it was too late. Most people would have accepted fate. Most would have cried, blamed destiny, cursed poverty, and moved on with silent resentment. But something different happened inside him. Pain did not make him weak. It made him awake. In that grief, while the village whispered sympathy and the world remained unaware, a decision was born. If the mountain blocked his path, then the mountain would have to move. Imagine that moment. No crowd cheering, no camera recording, no government support. Just a man standing before a massive wall of stone, holding a simple hammer and chisel. The same tools he once used to survive would now become weapons against impossibility. People laughed. They called him mad. They said grief had stolen his mind. But what they did not understand is that pain, when directed, becomes power. Every strike of his hammer was not just against rock. It was against helplessness. Every blow was a refusal to accept that the poor must suffer silently. He could not save his wife, but he could make sure no one else would lose someone because of distance again. That is the transformation. Tragedy did not destroy him. It gave him purpose. Your life will test you. It will take things from you. It will put mountains in front of you that feel unfair and immovable. In that moment, you have two choices: collapse or carve. Pain is not the end of your story. If you choose courage, it becomes the beginning of your power. When Dashrath Manjhi first began striking the mountain near Gaya, the sound of metal hitting stone echoed through the valley, like a strange rhythm no one understood. Villagers would stop, stare, and then laugh. Some shook their heads with pity. Others mocked him openly. "He has lost his mind," they said. A poor man challenging a mountain with a hammer and chisel looked ridiculous. In their eyes, it was not courage. It was madness. This is how the world reacts to vision. In the beginning, greatness never looks impressive. It looks foolish. When someone dares to see beyond current reality, people measure that dream using their own limited beliefs. They don't see the future result. They only see the present impossibility. And impossibility makes them uncomfortable. So they laugh. When Dashrath Manjhi began carving through the mountain near Gaya, he did not ask anyone for permission. He did not wait for a government order, a village meeting, or an official title. He was not appointed. He was not funded. He simply decided. And that decision separated him from everyone else who only complained about the problem. Most people wait. They wait to be chosen. They wait to be recognized. They wait for the right time, the right resources, the right support. But extraordinary people understand something powerful. Greatness is not given, it is claimed through action. The world does not hand you significance. You create it by solving a problem no one else is willing to solve. Imagine the courage required to act without validation. No guarantee of success. No assurance that the mountain would ever break. For years, there was no evidence that his work would matter. Yet he kept moving forward as if the outcome was already certain. That is what separates dreamers from doers. Dreamers hope. Doers commit. There is a silent power in self-belief. Not loud confidence. Not arrogance. Just a quiet certainty that says, even if no one understands me, I will continue. He did not need applause to begin. He did not need recognition to persist. His identity was not built on others' opinions. It was built on purpose. Think about your own life. How many ideas have you buried because you thought you were not qualified? How many ambitions have you delayed because you believed someone else needed to approve them first? The truth is, permission is a myth created by fear. You do not need to be extraordinary to start. You start, and that is how you become extraordinary. He was a laborer, poor, uneducated, unknown, yet his name now stands as a symbol of relentless human will. Not because someone empowered him, but because he empowered himself. The mountain did not ask who he was before it resisted him. It only responded to the force of his repeated action. If you see a problem and feel called to fix it, that call-in is your permission. If you have a vision that refuses to leave your mind, that persistence is your qualification. Waiting keeps you ordinary. Acting makes you uncommon. Greatness begins the moment you stop asking for approval and start moving stone. There was a mountain standing between villages near Gaya. For generations, people walked around it. They accepted it. They adjusted their lives to it. The mountain was not questioned. It was simply part of reality. But when Dashrath Manjhi looked at that wall of stone, he did not just see rock. He saw a mission. That is the difference between ordinary sight and purposeful vision. Most people see obstacles as barriers. Rare individuals see them as assignments. The mountain that caused pain in his life became the reason his life mattered. It stopped being an enemy and started becoming his calling. Your mountain may not be made of stone. It may be debt, failure, rejection, fear, a difficult childhood, a broken relationship, a dream everyone told you was unrealistic. Whatever stands in front of you right now, frustrating you, limiting you, exhausting you, that might not be punishment. It might be direction. Mountains reveal who you are. When something blocks your path, you either turn away or you transform. He could have left the village. He could have surrendered to bitterness. Instead, he chose confrontation. Every day, he faced the very thing that had caused him pain. Not with anger, but with determination. And slowly, the obstacle that once symbolized tragedy became a symbol of hope. There is a hidden pattern in life. The area where you struggle the most often contains the seed of your greatest contribution. The problem that hurts you deeply is usually the one you are uniquely designed to solve. Pain sharpens awareness. Struggle builds strength. Resistance builds identity. By carving that path, he did more than reduce distance between two places. He reduced distance between what is and what is possible. The mountain did not shrink his life. It expanded it. It gave him a reason to wake up, a direction for his energy, a legacy that outlived him. If you remove all obstacles from a person's life, you remove their opportunity for greatness. Do not pray for an easier path. Develop stronger hands. The mountain in front of you is not random. It is specific. It is personal. And it may be the very thing that defines your story.